Welcome to CarSceneKorea. I introduce newly released Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars. And you may not get this car from where you're watching, but this is the micro car that is currently sold in Korea. And this is a very, very tiny car. And I've actually introduced this car day of its release. So go check the video out right here. Hyundai has collected the data from the owners and they have thrown in the essential options on this Casper. Hence the name Hyundai Casper The Essential. Today's video is sponsored by Monster Grip, and big shout out to them, because if it wasn't for the sponsorships like these, I would definitely have much more difficult time producing videos. So if you are interested in the product, which I'll be going through right now for the few seconds, as well as I'll be including everything about this at the end of the video, so make sure you go check it out and show some love. Well, that being said, let me get in and show you all about this right now. So what it does is very self-explanatory. You can just simply install this grip onto the steering wheel wherever you like within the steering wheel, because well, there is a lot of position that people actually prefer having their hands on, but I would definitely recommend that you keep your hand on the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. What this does is you could actually press it down like so, and you could roll it around, and there's another version on the behind of this grip like so. You see? So this design is actually inspired from those fidgeting. The main purpose is to enhance the grip of the steering wheel, as you can see, and also it has this acupressure design, and these are designed ergonomically so that it fits really great with your hand and whatnot. So press it down tight. You kind of get that acupressure right here. So I've been driving with one without and one over here, and this is quite something that I would definitely recommend. And you know, if you love those fidget toys and spinners, you know, I would definitely give this a plus. Once again, my recommendation would be the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. The demonstration, you could just simply, and I'm also doing it with my one single hand, but just look at this. Just like so, it's already installed, and of course this would be much more easier with two hands, but this is how easy the installation is. And how is that possible? Because there are actually 3 ring plates in the middle and at the outer rings. And this is actually made from a silicone, and the best part is that you could just wash this off with your soap, and you can keep this clean whenever and wherever you like. So this is actually a plus compared to the gigantic steering wheel. It actually covers literally the whole steering wheel compared to this one. Once again, big shout out to Monster Grip for sponsoring today's video. That being said, let's get into this Hyundai Casper The Essential. Alright, so the exterior of this 2023 Hyundai Casper, once again, this is the micro SUV. Actually, well, Hyundai calls this an SUV. Korea also has micro cars because they are actually fully loaded with benefits. That is from the 50% discount on public parking lots, and also the toll fees and all that stuff. And of course, definitely, it's much more affordable, very fuel efficient. Fuel economy is definitely a plus, and it just comes standard with micro cars like these. And if you haven't seen this car or review on this car just yet, make sure you go check out my previous video right here. As I've said on the introduction of the video, Hyundai threw in the essential things and also a lot of preferred options. And there's not that many things visible on the outside, but inside. So I'll be showing you all about it in a few seconds, but let me quickly go through and show you some of the exterior points. What I want to zoom in is definitely this intake or a duct that is actually cut right here. So does it do something? Definitely. You can see it's actually cut open and it's connected right into the radiator, so it sucks in the extra air. Honestly, this portion does all of the work mostly already. However, the extra duct means much more performance. And well, why is that? Because this Hyundai Casper is actually a turbo model. Literally, it has the turbo engine. So there are two variants of the naturally aspirated version, and there is the turbo. And that is the most prominent and the biggest difference that you could actually differentiate the one from the other. Just so you know that she is Dumsung. Hi. So Dumsung is Jindo breed from here, Korea. And if you've been watching my channel, you probably recognize her already. She is my doggo, so that's what she is. And you see, this is definitely a private property and it's all closed area. Well, this is a road, but there is no traffic coming up because it's actually closed. This is the dead end, so just keep that in mind. And that is, well, this place is actually a resort for doggos. So that's where I've stayed actually with my Hyundai Ioniq 6 video previously, and we've come here again. Dumsung. Getting back to Casper, the exterior wise, for the turbo model, we have the extra duct and intake right here. The Casper doesn't come with HDA, but it does come with cruise control, and also it has the lane keeping assist, which is definitely a plus. Casper the Essential gets a regular wheel right here. So this is the good old, well, that is the plastic cover. And definitely this is a steel wheel. And that comes with a 185/65/15. And it's been so long since I've seen these numbers on a car. This is just so affordable. I think the tires would just go somewhere around like $40 a piece. We see the rotors right here and comes with the caliper. Just nothing big, nothing fancy, but wow. Look at this. Actually, it has the ventilated discs as well. The reason why, I now see the reason why Hyundai actually proposed and said this to be an SUV. From what? I'll definitely point out this cladding. Not only does it give the off-roader type of a feel to it, you see, this is definitely a must when it comes to SUVs. Clearance on this is definitely an SUV-like. There is no stress whatsoever in terms of driving this car around the cities, and as well as some of, well, kind of this off-roader type of a thing as well. So this car, Casper, definitely belongs to the category of being an SUV. Dumsung. And that is the Dumsung moment for you to enjoy. You see the emblem right here? This is the good Hyundai logo that we know of. But let me bring you on the outside and also, excuse me, the rear of this Casper. Look at this. It's actually engraved and it's put inside a car like this. So this is within the taillight and also the plastic cover. It's inside the car, as you can see. So this is the rear of the Casper, and I love the brilliant touch with these triangles, but that formula put together, kind of a circular shape altogether, and the brake lights as well. The proportion is something out of this world, but I absolutely love. And one more thing, the brilliant thing that's been touched with the Casper is, and fire up the car. What I want to show you now is, so I have the lights turned on, as you can see. So I have the tail lights on, and this is definitely more visible during the nighttime, of course, but the brilliant touch is, well, because the hatch opens, and when this gets lifted, we're not going to be able to see the tail lights, right? So watch what happens. The tail light is on, but when the trunk lid is open, actually this portion lights up, indicating and showing the traffic coming from behind that the car is there, and also it's been fired up. And so when that is open, that lights up and this guy goes out. But once again, when closed, this turns back on, that gets turned off. So a brilliant touch. Just look how massive you can load your stuff in this Casper. Despite this car being a micro car, this is of course has the look and the shape of the SUV overall. So this is very versatile. As you can see, I have my outfit, the laptops, and also other luggages right here. Gotta turn this off. So a little bit of a downside is that it could be a little bit noisy, as you can see the car being, and also it's a turbo, so that's the reason why. So leather steering wheel and 8-inch monitor, as well as the reverse camera and the remotely controlled button system here. The heated and ventilated seats for the drivers, and as well as the heated seat on the passenger seat. Last but not least, so this is the expressed car that we can use, and this comes standard, so you don't have to actually go into the toll every time, but you can just simply fly through it. And this comes out with the $12,000 on the price tag. And do not forget about this actually functional and practical. But there actually is a surprise that I got out of the Hyundai Casper The Essential, which is the MPG that I talked about. No matter what you do, the moment this car starts coasting, you would get a lot more than what you expected on the odometer in terms of the MPG. So be ready for that. I forgot to show you the engine bay. This thing is so cute. Alright, so this is the TGDI engine that we have. This is slightly less than a liter size engine, and that's what powers the Casper Turbo. And wow, just look at this. There are the blinkers. I can see the blinker right off of the fender like that. And there's the bolts that goes on right there. Everything is just so direct and visible. This is, well, we can see a lot of things. I can see underneath of the car, right here and there. There are a lot of see-through points that I can actually... Oh, if you're interested in cars, you can definitely see and learn a lot of things from this Casper. Everything is just so visible. So that's it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and like CarSceneKorea if you did. And I'll see you with more of newly released Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars in the next video. Alright, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.